welcome to today's video where we're basically going to be talking about university graduation / is university worth it? So I'm obviously going to be only talking from my experience. Wow, government doesn't want me to talk about it. Focus camera. There we go. Maybe. I like how I pull a face and that helps. Anyway, so I'm just going to be talking about kind of like my university journey and the highs, lows, everything in between, and talking about the differences and then my graduation. So for those of you who don't know, I have a Bachelor of Media Design and now a Bachelor of Arts major in English and Creative Writing. So I have the two bachelors. I also have a Cert 3 and a Cert 2, and I'm currently working on my diploma. I've got a couple of things floating around in the ether. I'm not as dumb as I look. But I'm mainly going to be talking about the bachelors, essentially. The Bachelor of Media Design and Bachelor of Arts major in English and Creative Writing. Talk about the pros and cons between the two. And then uni as an overall. So for context, the first university I went to, which was when I did my Bachelor of Media Design, was at Torrens University. And this is not to give shit to Torrens University, although they probably deserved it. It was a shit experience. And I know this was an art class in particular sort of thing, we had it really rough for our art class. We started the year before COVID, in 2019, and then had our second and final year during COVID. Does that make that the greatest way to do university? Hell the fuck no. Did we do it? Yes. Was it still difficult? Yes. Now, it kind of gave us some pros with that because a lot of our classes are just kind of, you sit and talk and communicate, and a lot of us, like I'm doing now, you just sit in an office chair or in our beds when it was a 9 a.m. class and talk to the lecturer or listen, you do the thing, and that's that. While it was great because the class that we had in particular was a really small class. So, my camera's not focusing on me today. Hello? I'm too close. No? Hello? There we go. So anyway, so originally we had about 30-ish people in our class. I think it was about 32 people in our class. But at week 1. By week 4 of that term, I believe it was, we had dropped down to about 10 people. That's a dramatic drop when you think about it. In about a month, 20 people had dropped out. By the end of our degree, there were 6 of us. 4 girls, 2 boys, for context. So we kind of had a bigger class, like a classroom class, if you remember high school and primary school, to now more of a almost one-on-one study session sort of vibe. So some people might know them as tutors, so you kind of have that like tutory vibe where it's more one-on-one. And that I actually quite liked because I'm a person who can struggle to ask questions or kind of just communicate in general. And so being able to just be like, yo, teach, what does this mean? And not feel like I'm taking away 30 people plus, time and space did help compared to where I got my degree, which is at Adelaide University. They had a couple more different structures, but like some of the classrooms there was, like the lecture halls had 100 plus people, and some of the classes themselves had 30 people. And so while they still made it really engaging and authentic and still easy to communicate with, it still was a little bit of a struggle for me. But I know that's just me personally, as not only an introvert but also just hard to ask questions. So the major thing though that especially Torrens did, as in more the lecturers than anything, they were so anal about certain things that didn't need to be cared about. So for example, they were very particular on the way we dressed. They were very particular on like who we were as a human being. So even something as simple as we were girls, that was kind of looked downly upon. I know this wasn't every class, this was definitely just our class, but another thing as well, I get it was COVID. We lost a lot of our privileges. So we weren't allowed to use any of the photography spaces we were promised. We weren't allowed to essentially, they just didn't even bother to let us use it. They just closed it down entirely and got rid of it and made it into a classroom. We were supposed to be scouted. We never got scouted. We never even got the option to be scouted. We could have submitted something. They didn't even let us do that. I'm pretty certain they changed the curriculum for one of our years, well, half of our year, so we could help our lecturer finish one of his assignments or his projects, which is crazy because we're all students who need to be doing a subject, and there was almost a debate about him not wanting to give us credit, and we were like, well, if we're helping you complete your task, you need to give us credit at least, even if it's a special thanks or whatever. So they were very particular about things that just didn't necessarily help us academically. They tried to care, they cared to know only the top students. They didn't care about the rest of us. They really just wanted to make sure that if you were a good student, and when I mean good student, distinction, high distinction, they loved you. If you were like me, who did pass credits, had a distinction once, they told me I should leave. I had one of them at one point actively tell me I should leave because university is not for me. Here I am with 2 degrees and a Cert 2 and a Cert 3 and about to do a diploma, but yeah, I'm not ready for university. They wanted their life to be quick, easy, simple, perfect. Whereas with Adelaide, they cared so much more. I was going through a lot in my uni times. So my first university, I had my grandfather and my uncle pass away within a week of each other. At the Adelaide University, I had my grandmother dying and my dad getting cancer removed within 24 hours. So I had some pretty big kind of traumatic-y things, well, not traumatic, but just upsetting things happen to me. And the way the universities handled it was so vastly different. Torrens University didn't give a shit. I told my lecturers what was happening. They went, Cole, you still need to show up to class. And I did. Yeah, but they got mad at me because I wasn't answering as many questions as I normally do. I wouldn't talk as much. And I was a little bit dissociated, a little bit out of it, a little bit depressed. Adelaide University said, you take the time you need, we will help you out however you need, you let us know. Please give us updates if you feel comfortable to do so. We just want to make sure you and your family are okay. Please tell your family, we're so sorry and we're happy for your father's recovery. Even when I got back to uni, because I took off, I think 2 classes, just because it was all too much. The first thing they said to me, they pulled me aside and they said, how is your dad? How are you handling everything? Do you need an extension? Do you need a break? Do you need to go home? What can we do to help you? They cared more about me, who I am as a person, my family, over you getting the assignment done on time. And I had got the assignments done on time without any extensions. But the fact that they cared really showed me the difference. And that truly meant a lot to me. Even down to just how the graduations worked in general. The Torrens University graduation felt very rushed. I think also it didn't feel as authentic because it was at the Festival Centre, which I have no issues with. Which, if you don't know, the Festival Centre is just a big kind of conference-y area, kind of you have a lot of conventions there, a lot of big conferences are held there. So yes, it was nice walking on a big stage and doing the thing, but it just felt odd. It just felt like it was a last minute ditch idea. Was that the Festival Centre? Part of the Adelaide Oval. Anyway, besides the point, it just felt very much this is close enough, she'll shove it in here and deal with it. And I obviously, to their credit, they do not have fancy buildings, they don't have the resources, they don't have all the bits and bobs to necessarily kind of give that authentic feeling of graduating. Whereas with Adelaide University, you know, I went into this hall, it's a very famous hall in SA called Benathan Hall. You could feel the history, you felt important, you felt validated. But not only that, I think I just had a little bit of extra nostalgia because this is the same place like where my father had graduated, my uncles had graduated, my aunties had graduated. Like, it just felt, you know, my cousins as well. So it felt like I was part of this like family of, I don't know how to describe it, just like a family of people kind of walking through. And so it brought me so much joy and hope, and I was trying to not get emotional as well. I was also just missing my grandmother a lot, so that probably added to it. But universities make a big difference. Schooling makes a big difference. The teachers will always make a big difference. I give so much respect to the teachers at Adelaide University. They genuinely, like, and not all of them were fantastic. That's just how it works. Some were shit. Some I absolutely adored, and they genuinely cared and tried and helped and tried to see things in kind of how I saw things, because I don't always see things so colourfully. I see things very black and white a lot, which is funny because I do very creative things, but I look at it from a very analytical standpoint and then go creative from there, and sometimes that can be a bit jarring for people who are always think very creatively. So being able to have a lecturer kind of guide me into a way to help me to be more creative and a little bit more willing to look at all the different options made me feel a lot more at home. So that was kind of my like university journey. It definitely went from a place of uni is a shit place where they kind of just want to make you a soldier of their own being to I feel like a human being who is worth time and effort and care. So it definitely makes a big difference. Highly recommend. In my opinion, I will always recommend universities, just because it's good to educate yourself, whether that's a free online class, whether that's a Cert 2 or Cert 3 or whatever, or a degree or onwards. I think learning is always necessary. Learning is powerful. Knowledge is power. But at the same time, if you don't like what you're doing, it never hurts to swap around and change. But if you're an indecisive person, you have to look at it for a second and go, is it that I just don't like the class, or do I not like the entire structure? Because there were definitely some classes I didn't like necessarily, but I love the entire structure, so therefore I just kind of left it. And then luckily our uni works in certain ways that I can kind of jump around it, but yeah. Anyway, that's my university talk. Let me know in the comments below if you've gone to uni, been to uni, something different, something similar. College is another name. But what's your thoughts? And yeah, thank you so much for joining. Love y'all very much, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye y'all. Hey, sorry for that weird jump there. It is actually a completely different day. Apologies on that. Something came up I had to attend to straight away, so we're still going to continue. I pretty much am just going to do a quick ending and just say thank you so much for listening to the short podcast. I know it kind of ended a bit abruptly, but unfortunately life happens and life gets in the way, so we're just going to have to deal with things. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Love you very much, and we shall chat to you in the next pod. Love you. Bye.